To talk from the view of the nickel today, introducing Indonesia and the New Caledonian cases. Why I'm introducing cases in Indonesia and the New Caledonia today? As this slide shows, both countries, means Indonesia and New Caledonia, are world's largest nickel mine producing country in Asia, same as the Philippines. And they already introduced value-added policy in the mining law. The table left hand is shows world rank is mine reserves. The New Caledonia is ranked number 2 in the world, and Indonesia is a 6th. The Philippines is an 8th. On the contrary, the mine production, the Philippines has a number 1 position, and the New Caledonia 5th and Indonesia 6th. The production is based on production is a result in the last year, 2014. Value-added policy and export ban are ruled in the Indonesian mining law, which was enforced in 2009. And export ban has been taking effect since January 2014, the last year, beginning of last year, after 5 years grace period. As an impact of the export ban, LME nickel price hiked just after enforcement. You can see the right up the graph shows the market price and jumped up just after export ban enforcement. And the Philippine export activity was brisk, both in the quantity and the price. And the right below the bar graph showed the export quantity of nickel ore from the 3 countries, the Philippines, and Indonesia, and the New Caledonia. The blue shows the Indonesia. Indonesian export quantities decreased in 2014, and of course, after export ban. And look at the share of quantity of the Philippines. 2011, the export quantity just 15 million wet metric tons. But 2013, it's reached at more than 40 million wet metric ton, and after that, in 2014, the quantity level can be kept. And compared to this, situation of the recent nickel price seems to be completely changed due to the fundamental factors like nickel demand and supply in the world. The right hand up the graph, the recent movement, recent movement shows the price decreasing so sharply. But I will not go further on this matter for today. In the New Caledonia, value-added policy was also ruled in the new mining law enforced in 2009, same as in Indonesia. The export of the unprocessed ore has to be approved by the CCEM. It's an export committee of the local government. This committee is checking if the export or the contract matches the purpose of the law, mining law. Did the value-added policy in Indonesia succeeded? That question. I cannot say yes at this moment, as of now. Please look at the slide. The slide shows a major change before and after the export ban. For example, the nickel export in nickel content-based quantity, 2013 nickel export in Indonesia is over 1 million tons of nickel content basis. And after the export ban, it's decreased to the 150,000 metric ton nickel content basis. The difference is 900,000 tons. It means a 90% decrease. And also, one example, the state-owned nickel producing company, Antam, their business result, 2013, before the export ban, its profit is $28 million US. But after the export ban, 2014 is $54 million deficit. Those two is just a typical example about influence on the export ban in Indonesia in case of nickel. And it is said that there are very few smelters to start its operation in short term, and prospect for the redistribution of the wealth in Indonesian nickel industry stays unclear. It means that after export ban, the Indonesian expected that many smelting refinery facility or plant come to in stream, but actually such speed is very, very slower than expected. That is a list of the plans, number of the new production facilities plans after enforcement of the mining law in 2009 in Indonesia. However, the plant which can start operation within 2015, this year, is maybe 4 to 5. It's just estimation by myself. And the next thing is the Indonesian challenge at this moment. Indonesian government is still expecting that they could be one of the major nickel producing country in the world. But on the other hand, the mining industry or the many mining companies, middle and small size company, recognize issue on the slide on the challenges, consistency of the mining law and the policy, the financing, infrastructure, and the development of domestic demand. Indonesian also rely on the marketing of the product, nickel product, totally on export. It may be the same as the Philippines. So one of the challenges is how they can develop the domestic demand. 100% rely on the export. It's quite fragile, I think. And this issue must be solved in order that further projects can implement their plan. At the same time, unemployment in the present issue is getting more and more serious these years. It should be considered as well. I'd like to look into the situation of the New Caledonia. The slide shows the general information of New Caledonia. The left side table. The population is only 0.2% of the Philippine. Population of the New Caledonia is just 0.2% of the Philippine. But nickel export quantity, it's of course on a nickel content basis, is 35% of the Philippines. The nickel is the biggest industry in the New Caledonia. And also, the reserve is assumed to be large in quantity compared to the other two countries. Two countries mean the Indonesia and the Philippines. In addition, New Caledonia already have several huge process plants in New Caledonia itself and also the overseas in Korea. Total capacity of the process plant is over 220,000 tons of nickel. But present issue is its operating ratio. Value-added policy in New Caledonia is a bit different from the Indonesia and the Philippines. The export of the unprocessed export of the unprocessed ore is not banned, but the approval by the CCEM, it's an export committee, is required, as I have explained already. I'd like to introduce one example of the issues. Issues is related to the mining policy, value-added policy in New Caledonia. There are 5 applications requesting ore export to China in August. Of course, such export has to be approved by the export committee. But the export committee declined all of them. The committee evaluated the contract that export price is low and the supplying ore to China will lead to more oversupply situation. However, as a result, the dump truck drivers who usually transport the nickel ore blocked the main road connected to the capital city, and the capital function fell down at the end of the August. It's against the decision of the export committee. Even some riotous people sniped the house of the VIP of the local government. This incident is clearly caused by the matter of unemployment. Now the situation is ordinary. The situation in the New Caledonia is ordinary, but the problem issue has not been solved fundamentally. That picture shows the blockage of the dump truck on the road. The next slide is same as the blockage. The next slide, this is a civilian demonstration, not truck drivers, but a civilian demonstration is against the social problem. Social problem means a decline of the capital function. So the one mining policy, value-added policy, sometimes expanded to the normal civilian society, I think. Then, as I mentioned, there are already several process plants shown on the slide in New Caledonia. And New Caledonia has 3 major processing plants. Two of them are located in the south, and one of them is located in the north. And New Caledonia also has a joint venture, Kanyan Ferronickel Smelters, with POSCO, Korean steel mills in South Korea. The New Caledonia is supplying ore, nickel ore, to such project exclusively and receives the dividend from the Kanyan project. However, the capex and the cost of the new process plant in New Caledonia are said to have reached at $7 to $8 billion, as I mentioned earlier. It's not capex and the cost of the Kanyan project, the project in New Caledonia. And the Kanyan project is not able to pay dividend at this moment because of the, you may know, the very depressed nickel market. This means that the value-added policy cannot be achieved only by construction of the plant and operating the facilities. I'd like to emphasize that value added generates and increases several risk factors at the same time, such as an operation, finance, and environmental preservation. I have explained about the situation in the Indonesia and the New Caledonia. And the value-added policy is today's mining industry wind, I'm sure. But there exists various risks. This is the conclusion of today's presentation. In my personal idea and opinion, in order to promote value-added policy, the following conditions are necessary. The necessary condition on the slide. firm strategy in long term, reliable and responsible feasibility study, billion scale finance, of course it's in US dollar basis, established operation skill, and a competitive production cost and marketing ability, particularly the marketing and create the domestic demand. It's also important, I think. And strong support by the government for the infrastructure and the utility facilities, such as a power supply or the water supply, and incentive. And following things are also important for the project company and its management, I think. The first one is the loyalty to the project and the society. Society means kind of the stakeholder, local society. And responsibility or commitment to the project and the society. And the last one is the capability and sustainability to manage various risks existing in the new project. Thank you very much.